Greetings, folks. This is DC Investing. I've reached financial independence, and I'm talking about topics that may help others on their path to financial independence. And today I wanted to talk about a topic that helped me on my pathway to reaching financial independence. And the concept is one that anybody can incorporate into their life. It's not a short-term, quick gain, but it's a long-term lifestyle mentality that can help you to become wealthy. And the main idea is that it's called lifestyle creep. And so what that means is as you get older in life, your income will tend to increase just due to wages and inflation, or not wages, but raises and inflation. Um, and the trick is to not let the expenses of your life increase with your average paycheck. And so it really takes a deliberate effort to try to keep your the expenses of your life under check. And the reason why you do that is because you want to use your extra funds to then invest in something that has a long-term benefit to you. So it's a two-pronged approach to one. Hey, I just want to control how much I expend or my expenses are, and I don't want that to grow over time. And two, I specifically want to use the difference between what I make and what I have to pay for my life to then invest and put it into assets that will then provide you a benefit long term. And so this is definitely something that I did to help me on my path to reaching financial independence. Um, every I work as an engineer. Every year you get a raise. I never really felt like um, I was one of those folks that got the best raises. It was probably just average over time, maybe a little bit below average. Um, I wasn't necessarily one of those that was good at the politics of a business career, but nonetheless, raises happened, and over time, my salary slowly grew. But what I didn't do was grow my lifestyle. My wife and I moved into a house. I think we're like 21,000 or 2,100 square feet. The double level house, small, simple, but fits our needs. We had 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, and it's not big, but it was adequate for a family. And I'm still there. It's 25 years later. Over the course of time, I paid off the house, so I own it free and clear today. And so that definitely reduced my life costs by living in the same house, paying it off over time. A lot of my engineering colleagues, as their salaries went up, they moved up a level in terms of the houses that they lived in. So, they end up with bigger properties, and sure, those things are worth more, but, with them came a payment that they had to pay. They paid interest, and so they had less money to invest over time. And I chat with some of them now, and I'm to the point where I can retire. I have enough assets to that pay all of my expenses. And I chat with them like, how long are you guys planning on working? And they're like, I got another decade before I'll be out of here, or 15 years. I'm like, how is it that we've all been working the same duration of time, and yet I've been able to reach financial independence and they didn't? And I really think it has to do with this idea of lifestyle creep. Another thing that makes a big difference is the car you drive. Um, we I've kind of tended to drive cars into the ground, as opposed to buying something new like every 5 years or something. Um, I tell you, I've loved Teslas over the last while, and I've wanted one of those, and particularly I really like the Cybertruck. I know a lot of folks hate it, but I just think it's the coolest thing. And I would like one, but economically, I just can't force myself to do that because my habits are so ingrained that I can't justify it. I have a Nissan Leaf, which is an electric car. It's really adequate to get me around everywhere I go. I don't need a new car, but I sure want one. Um, but but it's like I would rather have financial freedom than I would a nice, you know, new Tesla vehicle or something, and I think I paid $9,000 for my Leaf. It was about 3 or 4 years old at the time that I bought it. It had depreciated a ton. So, that's a good example of don't let your lifestyle creep occur. Cars are one of the most expensive things we have to pay for now. And if you can just be reasonable on your vehicle costs, I think my other cars, I bought a Geo Metro for my wife originally. And later I inherited that car when we bought a minivan. We had a Toyota Sienna. We bought that one brand new, but it was pretty reasonable at the time. It was hard to find used vehicles that were about the same price as this new one. It was just a basic model, but I still have that. I think it was like a 2006, I want to say, and we still own it. It still runs fine. The Geo Metro I gave to my son, and he used it, and that's when I got the other car. So, just not letting your lifestyle increase. There's a lot of folks that spend a lot of money on fancy cars, and that's a big way to let your lifestyle creep. So, you know, I'm just always looking for ways to kind of reduce the expenses in life, because my real goal is to buy my freedom through investing. And so by not, as my salary increased, I would always just save more, ramp up the retirement accounts, ramp up the brokerage account. I just would put that money to work, and, just made sure even if I had extra cash, it was at least earning money market interest rates, if I didn't know what I wanted to invest it in at the time. So over the past decade, particularly, that has really increased the assets that I have had. So maybe like the first decade of work, it was all just about staying on top of payments, paying for the kids and everything they needed. And then as my wages went up, I whittled down my expenses. The vehicles got paid off, the house got paid off, and instead of lavishly spending on something new, I just invested more. Now, I didn't feel like we were sacrificing in any way during this time. We just did sensible things. Like for vacations, we typically did local vacations. We live in Utah, and southern Utah is just an amazing thing. You've got the Grand Canyon and Zion's Canyon and Bryce Canyon and Moab and Canyonlands, and we just really like going out there and seeing the red rocks, hunting lizards and things. So we did that quite a bit. But we took our kids to Disney World when tickets were really cheap, and we took our family to Disneyland. I like going to Hawaii in the wintertime, and have been probably 7 times over the past 20 years. Did take my kids once, but usually it's just a wife and I visit. So it's not like we didn't do some fun things, but just always made sure that we were spending less than we were making. And so over the years, that's allowed us to build up assets. And so this is a principle that I'm kind of trying to teach today is, if you can keep your lifestyle costs from creeping up as your income goes up, then you get more money to invest. And the goal is to eventually have it so your assets and investments are making more than, I guess, your day salary job would be, so that you can just kind of end work and live off investments. And so I've reached that point here in life, and it's really, a lot of it has come because I didn't let lifestyle creep kick in. And it was a conscious decision. There's a lot of times where I really wanted things, but just like being able to control your wants versus saying, hey, what do I really need? And is what I have, does it fulfill my needs? And if so, just trying to teach yourself to be content. And then the flip side, just to make it a goal to say, what I'm really trying to do is buy my freedom so that I don't have to work the rat race every day. And to me, having the freedom to do what I wanted to, as opposed to being, I guess, enslaved, paying off my debts or the things that I bought in life, that was more important. So there's just one principle on a pathway to becoming financially independent, is live beneath your means, and then don't let your lifestyle creep up as your income does, and that will do well for you. So hope you like this. Like, subscribe, comment if you got a thought on this particular subject. Let our community know, and appreciate your time. Thanks. Bye.